So electric vehicle sector really turned quickly yesterday, pre-market on Tuesday. You can see on this stock, XPEV, the stock, you can see on the 15-minute chart, yesterday pre-market made new highs and then just tanked really quickly from 77 all the way down to 64. That's more than $10 on the downside. I really hate it when these kind of moves happen pre-market. So even though I'm aware that there's gonna be a sell-off coming, with this sector hype, bubble, however you want to call it, I wasn't trying to pick the tops. But at the same time, when the sell-off happens pre-market, it's hard to chase, and I don't want to chase on the short side, especially on these large cap stocks. They can squeeze really quickly. So I didn't catch XPEV on the short side, but yesterday I did short a lot of the smaller cap, the electric vehicle sympathy plays on the short side. So the first play was BLNK. Again, I didn't chase it on the way down to short. I waited for the top, which is around this $30, $31 rejection right here. I was waiting to scale in slowly, but it kind of, SSR was also triggered. So when SSR is on, it's hard to short. You kind of have to front run your short on a breakout. And it makes it really hard to add into it. You can see, I shorted here, only filled starter. And then after the 30-50s entry, it spiked to 32 for a hot second, and it just rejected really quickly. So I couldn't even try to scale in. And it did feel like if I were to scale here, I'll be chasing. So, while I didn't want to just scalp it, it did turn out to be a scalp just because I only have, starter size, $31 shorted pretty much to 29. So, taking small wins here and there, but it still adds up nicely. And I did it again near the end of the day over here. Just shorting small. SSR is still on, was kind of difficult. But at the same time, this kind of play is also very stress-free. Instead of trying to short the last couple of days, today on a red day, the trend is to the downside and it tends to hold up as resistance. So that's why I shorted here. Small scalps, they still added up really nicely. Next stock, Nio, was actually a very nice overnight long for me. We held from, the previous day close, which was around 55.30s on Monday. And then we sold into the pre-market gap up into 57.50s. And we did the same for LI as well. So if you look at the chart on LI, we pretty much swung it from $43 and then sold into the pre-market gap up and 47 and then 49. I didn't get to sell at $49, but $47, that's $4 a share overnight. That's still very nice. But for the day trades on Nio, I took, tiny paper cuts. It didn't work. You can see I tried to long the consolidation here. Small starter size, didn't work, stopped out and tried it again. Didn't work out again. You can see every time my stops got taken out, the stock just, squeezed to previous day close. That was a move I was looking for, but unfortunately, I just didn't get it. I think I set the stops a little bit too tight on these. But I was also trying to be cautious because the stock is technically red on the day. I just want to be cautious that if I'm going long on a red day, I don't outstay my welcome and kind of, let the stops a little bit too loose down to, 53, 52s. So the next stock, NKLA, is also mostly on the short side. I did try to go long for some small scalps on the backside here, and then, sold it for some small wins. But the bigger trade was on the short side. Around 37s, you can see 37 starting to get a little bit toppy here. Sellers were stepping in, and then we got this nice wick candle to almost 38. Ideally, I wanted to see it touch 38 and actually push and reject. But I think we got as high as 37.90s. But, so, starter size, nothing big, but still added up quickly. From 37, shorted down to, 36.50s and covered, everything around here, 35.50s, and then I have like another small scalp here, and then the long here over here. So small scalps did add up, and especially on stocks like NKLA, it was also up with the electric vehicle hype, except they were maybe like 2 days late to this party. So but still nice trades added up. Next stock, SPI. So this one really surprised me. So, it actually gapped up all the way to almost $19, $18, $19 pre-market. Again, they just put electric vehicles in the title, and this is a very low float stock. You can see, at one point it was trading at around 46s in September. I remember that day was crazy. It went from $4 to 46. But today we gapped up to $19. And I was cautious, but I was more short biased on this stock. I traded the same on this day, and I think this day as well. So SPI shorted small starters, 1750s, covered most of it pre-market, and I waited for the bounce to re-add it back into my short. As you can see, added some pre-market, and at the open it was heavy immediately. This thing literally could not even bounce and get an uptick. So I just joined the trend, sold it all the way from 15 down to 13.20s, and then the lowest I got was 12.50. And then over here I did re-add back, trim some position, but re-added back once. The prior support proves to be resistance around 14s, and then shorted on the way down and re-added into it, and then covered the rest of it around 11.80s at the close. So this one was also a very stress-free day. So as you can see, the play yesterday were mostly on the short side, on the small cap EV stocks. I did try to go long and scalped a little bit on the larger cap stocks, but some worked out and some didn't, but the bigger gains were from the short side. Once this entire EV sector started selling off, and that's where we got a lot of downside. Because you have to look at it this way, the leader of the pack basically ran up from $40 all the way to, 70s in 3 days. So it's very extended. It was like this for the entire sector. So a lot of times we get these kind of parabolic extension to the upside. It's usually followed by the downside move as well. And today you can see we continue the trend to the downside. So today I was mostly waiting for the main watches like the XPEV and Nio. It just never showed up and never was a setup for me. So I did scalp some of the small caps on the side, but they were just small positions, small share sizes. Traded MTC a little bit short, and then tried to long, and then re-added up here a little bit too high. Stopped out all of the long. So, small gains on the short and then a long. Tried it again, didn't work, stopped out. So just very small profits and base hits today on MTC. The other one that I took a loss on is AMPC. So actually long the stock. I didn't have shares to borrow. But here I was thinking, okay, they're doing the consolidation trap here. You can see, higher lows forming, trapping around the 750s area. That's why I went long, thinking that it can do this kind of move, right? And then at the end, they actually did it. But after I got stopped out, around the, they started squeezing from, $7, held higher lows and squeezed it out to $8. Unfortunately, I was already stopped out on the long side. So this would have been a nice short too, but I didn't have locates on this stock. So just small wins here and there today. Definitely not as exciting as yesterday. The best trade on the day for me was actually MRNA. So in the past, MRNA, I was always more comfortable on the short side. But today, you can see it wasn't on my radar at all pre-market. But the stock ran from $99 all the way to 103. I wasn't watching the stock at all. But it wasn't until somebody in my chat room brought it up that I, took a look at it. I was like, wow, it's breaking out above. You can see on the daily chart, breaking out above this 103 area, right? If you draw a line across 103, it's breaking out above that. So, I had a small scalp, just small scalp, thinking that, okay, if 103 holds up as resistance and cannot break through it, then we will get some nice downside. But the stock did have some positive news. So I'm cautious, and cautiously aware that this thing can actually go a lot further. Because technically speaking, a large cap stock that's breaking out to new all-time highs, you don't want to fight the trend and try to short it. So that's why I was out of my scalp short. And this is where I'm watching. Okay, they're trying to hold this 102.80s area, 106.3s. So this range, if this range gets bought back up and they're supporting this range, the stock actually has has room to new all-time highs to 105 and 106s. So I actually started building a long position. Started in around here, 103.20s, the stock dropped back up. You can see, we got a little wick down here to 102.80s, touching that 102 support I was talking about. And you can see it just gets slowly bought back up. And if you look at the volume here, very low volume. So the selling wasn't as aggressive as the buying, right? So this is a very simple volume analysis. Just look at the volume. There's no need for any of those fancy indicators, RSI, MACD, and all that stuff, right? If you focus on those things, you're gonna miss the dip buying opportunity. So that's why that's the reason I don't have any fancy indicators. I use VWAP as a guide, but I don't use it as a signal to enter or sell. So basic, volume and technical analysis here. Once it starts holding this all-time highs, prior all-time highs, 103.30s, I went long, adding to my position, sold into the first target, 105s, but I was thinking, this could potentially go higher to 106s. I did get a nice add, but unfortunately I didn't, I was a little bit too patient on this. It should have sold into, we got 106.10s. I didn't sell into it because I was thinking, okay, if we break out here, it should go to 107s. It didn't. So, I held it, this is turning into a swing trade at this point. I'm usually a very impatient person, as you can tell. But, and just because I'm not as comfortable on the long side on MRNA, generally speaking, but at the same time, I'm not just gonna short every time it's up, right? I trade the setups. If the setup is here telling me that's a long, then I go long the stock. So that's why you don't want to be overly bullish or bearish, right? There's always two sides of the play. So I held it, thinking that, okay, this is actually really bullish. We got another test, didn't get it. And once this lower high sets in, I sold everything around 105.80s and then rest of it around 105.50s. And, there's a short play here. Like you can see, previous high failed. This could be technically a triple top, right? You can short it from, 105s, risking 106s, and you got a nice downside to 103s. So there's a play on both sides. But today I only caught the long side, which is very unusual of me. And I agree. But the stock is back at new highs again. So we'll see what happens. But, small base hits definitely added up nicely today. It's a very slow, but also very stress-free day for me. So let's go over some Q&A time, shall we? First question is from Hugh. Hi, HD. I know you always scale out, but do you always scale in when going full size? Yes, I do. I never go in just full size right away for entries. So MRNA is a good example, right? I started in starter, and it's only once the price action confirms my thesis that the stock is holding the prior highs and it's going higher, then I add it into it. So, always, I do scale. You can see I started in here and added to full size, sold into it, and I'm just working around my core position. And that's how I re-added here for that push over here. How I scale is if, let's say, full size is 1,000 shares, then I'll scale with like 250, and do that 4 times. Or if I'm being a little bit more aggressive and more convinced of my thesis, in this case on mRNA, then I'll do 500. So it depends on the setup, but I never go in just 1,000 shares right away. So I would expect the rest of today and Friday volume to be kind of slow and choppy because of the American Thanksgiving on Thursday where markets closed. So to my American friends, hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the holidays. If you enjoy the video, please remember to drop a like at the bottom of the video. And you can also leave any questions you have for me in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.